This is not a war. This is not an award. Oh my God, I absolutely support the President of the United States of America.
I'm at CPAC in Dallas. It's the biggest conservative conference in...
Finally, dude. Some real goddamn American patriots, bro. Hell yeah. I saw Harry Hasan over there. I almost lost my mind, you know? How dare you show me Harry Hasan? I need to see 10 patriots. We haven't even done enough CPAC shit because, like, bro, CPAC this year has been less motion than even the years prior. Trump didn't even attend it. No Tucker Carlson. None of the major MAGA heads. Just pure freak show. Like, it's literally the Michael Pillow Coalition.
The country, and lots of people here are talking about the war in Iran. Trump is not speaking at this event this year, but in the past, when he has spoken here, he's talked a lot about not starting new wars. When it comes to Iran, how do you feel about that?
I'm not happy. I'm not happy at all. I mean, President Trump ran on no new wars. I feel like we've been opted into a war that shouldn't be ours. It should be Israel's.
We want to say, Mr. President, thank you. Thank you for helping Iranian people.
What do you think of the war with Iran at the moment?
Unfortunately, I think it's necessary.
You do?
Yes, and he's the only president that had the backbone to take it on.
Do you believe that Israel forced the U.S. into this war?
Absolutely not.
Bro, Brace was saying that every corner there is a Persian yelling about Mr. President Trump. Thank you. Literally in every corner of CPAC, it was just like occupied. It was POG, Persian occupied government.
Donald Trump does what Donald Trump wants to do.
I don't think Trump is really controlled by anybody, as much as everyone would like to control him. But I do question some of the things when it comes to, are we just going to bend over everything for Israel, you know?
What do you say to some Republican people who say, well, this is Israel's war, it shouldn't be America's war?
Dude, by the way, I low-key get why Israel doesn't give a f*** about anti-Semites. And not even on some like, oh, it scares Jewish people into like moving to Israel. Like, they are like right-wing anti-Semites who claim to be anti-Israel are such cattle that like you hear the guy like in his voice, he wants to say like Jews control this country. Why would you do this to me, Mr. President? That's his mentality, but he can't even identify it and like communicate it, right? Because he's a victim. Like these guys can't even do anti-Israel. Like they can't even do anti-Semitism right. Okay, joking, but like kind of true, you know? So yeah, when you look at that dynamic and you're like, well, we shouldn't really focus too much on like right-wing anti-Semitism because at the end of the day, they're still going to vote for Trump. Whereas on the left, if your primary focus is Israel, there's a fuck ton of real anger there.
That's not so. Israel is God's people. Those that bless Israel will be blessed. Those that curse Israel, they better watch out.
Do you feel disappointed in the president?
Sure.
Do you still support him?
I want him to succeed. I certainly do. I think it's to be determined on, you know, if I can remain to support him. We'll see how the next 6 months go, and we'll see what happens.
Are you concerned?
The answer is yes, bro. What are you going to do? There is nothing more fake than a Trump hog being like, I don't know. We'll see. Like, shut up, bitch. You're going to vote for him. You're going to write his name in on elections in the future where his name is not even on the ballot. Shut up. Bro's acting like we don't know what his behavior is. Nothing funnier to me than a coping hog who's just like, well, I don't know. Okay, buddy. Sure. Trump could literally on your chest. Trump could make you eat his dookie and you still love his ass. Out of here with this. Don't know if I can vote for him again. Right. What? Am I crazy for saying that? Everyone's like, huh? That's the level of worship that these people have.
And that this war drags on.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We hear the phrase America first. Let's put America first. And I'm concerned that this isn't putting America first.
Is the United States waging a holy war in Iran?
This is a battle of good versus evil.
God is just exposing everything. I believe we are living in the end times.
Those are the views of some conservative Christians here in Oklahoma, one of America's reddest states. That message is being amplified at the highest level by Donald Trump's defense secretary.
God bless our troops and this mission.
It's causing alarm among those who worry about the growing influence of Christian nationalism on US policy.
I don't think the lines have been blurred. I think they've been stomped on.
People are being told that they need to go risk their lives in order to accelerate Armageddon.
Conservative Christians have access to this White House like never before. A president who regularly hosts evangelical leaders and a defense secretary who embraces a combative brand of Christianity.
Blessed be the Lord, my rock, who trains my hands for war and my fingers for battle.
Pete Hegseth is now invoking divine purpose to justify American military might in Iran.
Dear gracious God, I need you.
A conflict which some view as a holy war. Is it spotlighting increasingly blurred lines between church and state?
Give me wisdom, I pray.
Pastor Jackson Lammeyer!
In Tulsa, Oklahoma, the man who founded the organisation Pastors for Trump is announcing his run for public office from the pulpit where he preaches.
That Sharia law never takes root in this nation ever.
Jackson Lammeyer supports the war and has spoken about his hope that the gospel will penetrate a free Iran. It's a message which resonates with his congregation.
I do believe it is almost an Armageddon, and that the fact that we do have to stand up for what's right and what we believe in, and they are some awful people over there.
How do you square off the loss of innocent lives?
You're a much better person, surely. You know what's really funny? These people unironically were like, well, they're a religious theocracy, like they're so backwards. Buddy, look around, you know? Like these people, without even a moment of irony, will turn around and be like, well, they're a backwards country. They're run Islamic style. You know what I mean? We can't have that. We can't have that Islamic style government. They must learn the gospel.
It's perfectly fine. As someone whose dad serves in the military, I can tell you that it's just a cost. And unfortunately, it's the sad reality, but they did the right thing. They stood up and they fought for their country, and we can honor that. And I know that they're sitting with the good Lord right now. And in his...
Wait, is he talking about the Iranians? Because no American soldier that has died in the last month has died serving, like, they haven't died defending their country. They died defending Israel. Hate to do this to you, buddy, but you're wrong.
Great graces.
You should support Israel because God loves Israel. Israel is the apple of his eye, and that is in the Bible.
Is it a religious war?
Most definitely. Yes. Most definitely. Yes. God is just like exposing everything, using Trump, using other people in this time to expose the evil.
You believe Donald Trump is a conduit for God?
100% we do.
First times that Eric was here at the church, this is me and the president years ago.
In his office, Pastor Lammeyer displays pictures with various members of the Trump family who have appeared at the church.
Bro, they're so stupid. It is truly mind-boggling how these people are. Like, they're in the wealthiest country on the planet. They got internet everywhere. They have access to so much information, but they have a medieval peasant-style understanding of the world. How the does that happen? Like, we are in a post-monarchy world, right? How do you behave like this? And for who? The Trump children? Like, it is remarkable that there is this much of a cult, like, understanding for anything. Like, I mean it. Like, in this day and age, in the information age, it is quite remarkable that people can be this delusional and people can be this much in a cult. Fascinating.
Do you see this war in religious terms?
Well, obviously, to the Ayatollah, it was definitely religious terms. It's jihad. It is to bring about the apocalypse to usher in their Messiah.
You've spoken about the gospel penetrating a free Iran.
What
does that mean?
Well, that's not the job of the United States government. That's the job of pastors and preachers and evangelists when that door opens. And so a free Iran would open the door for ministries and preachers to go in and share the gospel.
At a different church on the other side of Tulsa, an opposing viewpoint.
Come on in.
Reverend Andy Campbell believes the Trump administration is weaponising Christianity to sell this war to the public.
If I go to war and I claim that God is on my side, if you oppose me, then evidently I must be godless.
Gay. Sorry. How many photos with Eric Trump do you have, buddy? Yeah, I said it. I need to see the photo wall, man.
And I think that's the point of it.
So do you think Pete Hegseth is playing on that then?
Oh, absolutely. He wants to take people that he perceives as enemies and make them less than human.
They smoked me all the way.
Defence Secretary Hegseth is provoking controversy with his rhetoric and his tattoos. He has a large Jerusalem cross which dates back to the Christian Crusades and a Deus Vult tattoo, Latin for God wills it, often used by far-right groups.
One of God's mightiest men, our Secretary of War, the Honourable Pete Hegseth.
Hegseth has pushed policy changes that reflect his personal views. This is a new Christian worship service for employees at the Pentagon.
You are here working in.
I'd kill myself. Come on. It'll never not be funny. He's literally a alcoholic. It's always these like super pro God guys. Like, we get it, bro. You killed people. Okay, I got it. Like, I understand. Like, just cut it. Just cut it out. Just cut it out. Let's just not do this. You know what I mean? I think it's better for everybody involved if like the alcoholic guys don't just like pivot to God mode this way. Because they're so annoying every time, dude. There is that very obvious recognition. This underlying recognition, by the way, that like, sorry, if you're one of those guys, you're kind of the dumbest guy around, that even someone like Pete Hegseth could just like manipulate you. Or someone like, what's his face? The British one, the British freak that looked like Russell Brand, the one that looked like a before we found out he actually was one, you know? Don't worry, Christians, Muslims got this version too. Andrew Tate. Like, literally. And I'll be honest, he didn't even try that hard. And the Ummah was on fire. They could not believe it. Muslims love a white boy that that reversed to Islam. It don't take much. Just say the Shahada and they will lose their minds. Every WhatsApp group is going to be on fire. Sorry, I shouldn't have said white. Western. He's 0% white. Okay. First of all, that's not true. He's half white. And secondly, I mean, I don't know why you got so aggressive about it. Like, you're almost like, okay, defender of the white race. I'm like, chill. Okay, you didn't, what? Us whites don't take ownership over Andrew? Is that what you're saying? Like, there aren't enough other, like, criminals that are white?
And some are alleging an increase in Christian extremism in the armed forces. The Military Religious Freedom Foundation says it's received more than 200 complaints from members of the military about commanders invoking biblical rhetoric to justify involvement in the war in Iran.
Some of the more egregious examples here, this one from an active duty military member who alleges that their commander urged them to tell our troops that the war, is all part of God's divine plan. Apparently, they referenced citations out of the book of Revelation and the imminent return of Jesus Christ.
Awesome.
Another military member says this poster of Jesus...
What the hell? Oh my God. Oh my God. Jesus Christ with the artillery launcher? Respect. That's real, man. I see that and I think tough. That's my Jesus. Nah, that's my Jesus, bro. Chill. Jesus, famously known for deploying mortars.
Firing a mortar round was displayed in their battalion headquarters. This congressman is calling for the allegations to be investigated by the Department of Defense.
These biblical prophecies are being offered up to justify the war. People are being told that they need to go risk their lives in order to accelerate Armageddon and live out these extreme interpretations of Scripture. The Secretary of Defense is making a concerted effort to God wash this terrible war.
Glad you guys were here tonight.
Yes, thank you.
Y'all be blessed.
As this pastor begins his campaign for Congress, he insists there is a place for Christianity in politics. But some believe the war in Iran is exposing an erosion of the separation between church and state. Martha Kellner, Sky News, Tulsa, Oklahoma.
If you lose what's important.
Yeah, only recently. We are such a freak-ass country. Yeah, Jesus demands we bomb 10-year-olds with stabilized oil. I mean, we bombed 10-year-olds so hard that we can't even stabilize oil. Like, oil was stable. And then we bombed 10-year-olds, and now oil is unstable. And now our goal is to just go back to day one. You know, before we killed the Ayatollah, before we killed all those little schoolgirls. I have a good idea. It's called don't f around. Why did you do that to begin with? And now we did it because we're like, we have to do it. Israel demands it. We had to do it. Now we did it. And now we're trying to unf this situation.
Then we're going to lose the country. Fight on.
Former Trump strategist Steve Bannon addressed CPAC on Friday. It's the annual gathering of conservatives. And we wanted to know, do conservatives who had so many concerns about the Epstein file have any reservations about Bannon, whose close personal friendship with Epstein was revealed by DOJ documents? Turns out many of them didn't.
A lot of people had friendships with Jeffrey Epstein, and I think
no one's relationship with Jeffrey Epstein comes close to Steve Bannon's. Like, well, there's some, like Donald Trump, ironically enough. But I guess, like, from their perspective, they already love Donald Trump and don't give a shit that Donald Trump was all up Jeffrey Epstein's asshole. So why should they care? You know, they're like, okay, go ahead. Tell me another guy that I like that was having sex with Jeffrey Epstein. I like it.
a lot of people are a little crazy about it all. I mean, I think nobody really knows what the extent of those relationships were. I mean, he was wheeling and dealing with lots of people all over the world, and I think
a lot of people had close relationships with Jeffrey Epstein's brother in 2019. Yeah, maybe she knows a lot of children. Have you thought about that?
Unless you know, you don't know. So I'm not one to jump to conclusions on anybody.
What do you make of him?
Yeah, they're throwing their hands up and like, I guess people aren't just allowed to have friends anymore. Wow. I guess people are not allowed to go to a tropical island and hang out with their buddies. Oh, I'm sorry. You can't have shared interests with friends. And then it's like, okay, what's the shared interest? Oh, having sex with children and trafficking them internationally. That's not, you can't do that, actually. It turns out that's super illegal. And as a matter of fact, that guy went to jail for it. You know? Yeah, you can't, God forbid, a man have hobbies your way out of this one. Well, I guess they are. Doesn't matter. It's illegal to be friends with Jews now, is it? Yeah. I mean, that's like low-key. The ADL was like, hey, guys, stop calling it the Epstein Fury War because that's actually very anti-Semitic. We are the premier anti-Semitism institution, and we would like to say Jeffrey Epstein is Jewish. We would like to remind everyone that Jeffrey Epstein is Jewish, and we are associating ourselves with Jeffrey Epstein on the virtues of Judaism. So please don't say anything about that. Insane. Never seen anything like it. Unbelievable. What's next, bro? You gonna do a Harvey Weinstein bit too? Much like Jeffrey Epstein, Harvey Weinstein also Jewish. Please do not forget this. It's like, okay, what are you, Nick Fuentes? The ADL is literally doing Nick Fuentes. That is unironically what Nick Fuentes does.
Being here and invited to speak at CPAC, given how prominently his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein was unearthed by the Epstein files.
I did not know that. You're telling me the first time. I've done my fair share of research, but I do.
He did the Trump. I did not know that. You're telling me for the first time. Ruth Bader Ginsburg has died.
I find that a little interesting and weird that he's able to speak here, being in the Epstein files.
I think he added a lot to the Republican and conservative.
Posted by an interview with Elfie, Westchester County Democratic Committee. Joint statement from New York CD7 chairs condemning Hasan Park as hateful, ready for the chairs of the Westchester County Democratic Committee. Oh my God, 9/11/2 is going to be so sick. Give Saudi Arabia nukes so they can do 9/11/2. I don't have any patriotism. Wait, these are just straight up Fox quotes. Are they so? They're ripped. These are just ripped from Fox News headlines. What the fuck? Oh my God, 9/11/2 is going to be so sick. Give Saudi Arabia a nuke so they can do 9/11/2. Yeah, like, I'm being sarcastic because Donald Trump wanted to give nukes to Saudi Arabia. You idiots. That's so funny that they literally took that as though it's like sincere. You can read the tone. Like, no one has ever said that sincerely, okay? Unless you're like a Posadist or something. I don't have any patriotism in my heart for America. Yeah, I said I don't have any patriotism in my heart for any country. Repeatedly refer to the Jews as inbred. It doesn't matter if effing rape happened on October 7th. It doesn't change the dynamic for me. Yeah, genocide is not acceptable. Stating that would be a little bit better. What? For men to rape wealthy women? Oh, God. These guys are so insane. Declaring that his favorite flag is the Hezbollah flag. Referring to Jewish critics as Zionist pigs. Pikers also praised U.S. designated terrorist organizations Hezbollah and Hamas. Pikers also praised U.S. designated Hezbollah is responsible for the deaths of 241 American servicemen. That's a big APAC county. That's where George Latimer is from, who challenged Bowman. It's fast. Boomers misinterpreting what Zoomers clearly read as unserious as you memes. You're mad Saudis following the doctrine. I mean, they did 9/11 once. Theo Vaughn on Israel. No, you read as you want in white/albino supremacy. Yeah, these people are insane. Westchester's where the cops live. They put you as a top story over every other news story. Why some Democrats want to shut off Hasan Piker's megaphone. Popular streamers rise as Democratic influence coincides with the party's long surge. I'm so cooked. Do you think the Saudis or Iranians are Chong enjoyers? Yeah, I think the Iranians are. That's why they're doing it. That's why that's why Iran decided to fight back, because they saw the Professor Xiang. First they were like, yeah, I never said Jewish pig, by the way. They're just lying, but it doesn't, it's all lies. Who gives a shit? Whatever. But what I was going to say is the Iranians, okay, this is serious. This is serious analysis, okay? It's predictive history time. So the Iranians watched the Professor Xiang video, right? Because that's their favorite thinker, right? They see him, they love the whiteboard. They're like, Professor Xiang, I am your favorite. You are my favorite, Professor. Okay? So then they're watching, and Xiang's like, okay, Donald Trump is going to become president, okay? And they're like, uh-huh. And then Donald Trump's going to wage war with Iran. They're like, oh, no, not Professor Xiang, why you say this? And then he says, okay, and Iran's going to win the war. And they're like, okay. And at first they're like maybe a little skeptical. They're thinking, nah, like, it's probably not real. But then Donald Trump becomes president. They're like, oh, my God, he became president. Professor Xiang was right. That's why they fought back, because they knew they would win, because they're committed believers of Professor Xiang, as am I. Yeah, that's why they were just kind of existing around American bases and so close in proximity to the state of Israel, which is the reason why the war started. Why do you move your country so close to my bases? We're gonna have to use them at some point, you know. Does Xiang actually have motion? I don't know, man. Why would I have an answer to that? Also, he had a weird. Trump had a weird take on here too. Let's listen to this.
Been able to see or hear from any of the Iranian people. And I imagine that is because they're...
Also, if someone found out the videos of his lectures are literally just him talking to Chinese students learning English, the wildest way to learn a language. I love that. Third way is mocking other people's view counts. I mean, they had 30,000 people watching when I tuned in. What are you complaining about? How many viewers do you have? Your third way. Oh my God, they have a channel? The Red Zone, Making Your Case in Magaland, 109 views. Take 5, Faith by Robert Rabin, 45 views. Affordability, Buzzword or Breakthrough, 66 views. Ain't no way, man. Ain't no way. Oh, it's so funny that they brought up the view count when they got no views whatsoever. I have more views on my Rainbow Six Siege videos, Lamau.
Internet is shut down. And I think there is some general worry about them. Obviously, their government treats them terribly and killed tens of thousands of them in January. Do you, again, like Kayleigh, I would never ask you to tell us something that is classified, but do you have any insight as to how they are doing? Do they have drinking water? Do they have food?
Right, I do.
It's upsetting.
I do. But first, you remember when we had lunch years ago in the base of Trump Tower when it was a brand new building?
It was a long time ago, yes.
A long time ago, and you haven't changed.
Oh.
You have not changed. Now, I'm not allowed to say this. It's the end of my political career, but you may be even better looking, okay? So I don't know what you're doing.
Been able to see or hear from any of the Iranian people. And I imagine that is because...
Incredible work, man. Thank you, Mr. President.
You haven't changed. You haven't.
He's horny this morning. Only the media gives these guys relevance by boosting their quotes about you, I guess. It's because they have money. Third way, yeah. Yeah, they don't have a real base. They just have money. But that's all that matters. What do you mean? They have incredibly wealthy donors. Disturbing how horny he's been lately.
Thank everybody very much. And I'm asked to take a few questions. And unlike other politicians, they would like the questions screened. I don't ask for screening of the questions. You can ask me anything you want. You can talk sex. You can talk whatever the hell you want. I'm here for you.
Someone clapped. People clapped for that. I would never want to hear Donald Trump talk about sex. That's the last thing I want to hear him talk about. Yo, what is going on with my boy, dude? Donnie, is everything good, King? Why is he so horny? It's like... It's gross to see. It's gross to see the president horny to begin with, including Bill Clinton. But it's also very strange to see this president be horny. What's happening? Laura hasn't been topping me off. Laura Loomer, she's been in India. So I've been so pent up. So pent up. You won't believe it. Hard as a diamond all the time. Laura Loomer, my free spirit, come back to me. Come back to me, Laura.
Thank everybody very much.
They got him on some new meds? Yeah, you think they give him Viagra? You think that's what it is? Hasan Piker talks about Donald Trump's penis being hard as a diamond. Third Way releases statement condemning Hasan Piker, saying Donald Trump has never been hard. He's actually very soft.
Party for the last 6 years or whatever. But I also believe that Bill Clinton was probably as close as Steve Bannon was to Epstein.
Clinton has denied any wrongdoing and mentioned the Epstein files is not indicative of wrongdoing. CNN reached out to Bannon but has not heard back, though he told the New York Times his relationship to Epstein was, quote, strictly professional.
As opposed to what? Having sex with him? We only one time, dude. We're friends. I mean, it's strictly professional. It's just like, I didn't even enjoy it. Now I'm getting horny like Donald Trump. I'm not horny, but, you know, I'm saying horny shit.
2028. Who do you prefer in the Republican primary? J.D. Vance at 53%, Marco Rubio at 35%. By the way, the interesting part about that is everybody else is about 2% or less.
Yep. And look, I think that CPAC has a strong tradition of letting these folks come here, make their pitch. That'll happen at all the events we have around America over the coming year.
Mash Lab's a rapist, by the way.
Here, it's going to be a great conversation about how do we keep all of this rolling.
Thank you, thank you. I'm super excited to be here and to be able to speak to you guys today. And I'm not here to speak on behalf of Republicans nor Democrats. I'm here to speak on behalf of we the people.
Hell yeah. They got Nick Shitley. Oh my God. First time the crowd is actually listening to someone that they can fully grasp, like fully understand. No more adult words. Just stick to basics, you know? Oh, dude. He went for 10 minutes. A real intelligence. House members are dropping off, the highest rate since the 30s. So far, 61 House members have decided not to run again, including 39 Republicans and 22 Democrats. The GOP exodus is the largest since the 1930s. Other than in Trump's first midterm of the year 2018, the GOP lost 40 seats that year. But this is ableist making him speak like this? Yeah,
I think nowadays we can all agree that we all just want to live the American dream and have the best life possible. However, it feels that sometimes, actually a lot of times, non-controversial issues are becoming controversial inside of America. For instance, if you take a look at the idea of deporting illegal migrants, that word is illegal. That should not be controversial. Or The idea that showing your ID to vote has become controversial.
What? That hasn't become controversial. That was a very contentious debate for years. And it's also not like, it's not a thing that exists everywhere. Only because Americans don't have like a unifying identity card or something like that. Like they don't have, like in other countries, everybody gets an ID, okay? Everybody gets an ID at birth. You get a driver's license on top of that if you get a driver's license to drive a car. But in most countries, you get a piece of paper that's your identity, okay? Like a federal ID. We don't have that. And that's why you can't have voter ID laws. In the absence of everybody having an ID for free, you can't really do voter ID laws.
That's not controversial either. The idea that fraud is bad has become controversial. How is that controversial? I know a little bit about fraud. I know a little bit about Minnesota daycares as well. And it's crazy to think that we live in...
I think it's really funny to like have to sit there. You're like a big booster of the Republican Party. You went to like Yale Law School, right? And you have to just like sit there and have to listen to this idiot. And he's the closing speaker on the first day of CPAC. Like this is the mega celebrity that they brought in. And you're just like, how do you not realize your movement is so dead? Like this country is dead. You look around that room to your left and your right, and you see all these mouth-breathing hogs go, yeah, that's my Nick Shirley. I'll watch this video. Like we're done, dude. We're done. We are done. Every other country is going to lap us on education. They already have. They're lapping us on quality of life in general. Everything sucks. At least you made your money, but this is an outright hostile country, an uninhabitable country to live in. It's not a good country to live in at all anymore. You ruined it. That's why I always say Republicans are the biggest terrorists, because you are a fraud boy. Tony Two Cuts.
A world where somebody who exposes fraud can then be painted as the bad man from the politicians where he exposed the fraud. Shouldn't they be excited to know that the fraud is being exposed, because that's not a Republican dollar or a Democrat dollar, it's actually our dollars. I've never gotten a dollar bill that says right or red or blue or right or left. We all...
You don't... I mean, what can I say? What can I say to this? Like, you don't feel embarrassed? You don't feel bad about it at all? You don't think to yourself, like, this is my movement? What the have I done to this country? This isn't a moment of recognition for you when you hear this when you hear this absolute Babylon, and you don't realize that there's something so horrifying about the future of this country and your movement.
Live inside of the same country, and we should all want the best for our country. And
There's so many rungs down on the ladder of advanced political discourse that we cannot even compare how to engage with it. I mean, he's like a child. He has the brain of a slow child, like not even like a particularly intelligent child, a very stupid child.
You see fraud inside of our country taking place at literally rampant levels. For instance, in Minnesota, there are programs like autism where you have 10,000% increases in the budget for autism. And this money then goes into the hands of fraudsters. How does somebody not look at that and say, there's a 10,000% increase in the budget for autism? Is there a 10,000% increase in autistic children inside of our neighborhoods? And if the answer is no, how are they justifying a 10,000%?
I thought it was Tylenol, man. What the I was lied to. It turns out it's not. I thought it was the Tylenol.
% increase in the budget. And in other instances like California, where you have 1,000% increase in hospices. Is everyone going to die in LA? I don't think so. So the idea that here inside the United States, when we have these non-controversial issues that have become controversial, it puts us into a weird culture war where it puts people into a position to think, okay, well, wait, how are you supporting this when you're actually not benefiting we the people? We all live inside of the United States. We're not supposed to be, when elected officials are elected, they're not supposed to represent 50% of the population. They're supposed to represent 100% of the population. in an instance where fraud is taking place inside our country, each and every single person should want to crack down on that fraud. Because if we don't...
Oh my God, it's so weird. Wild moment, CPAC audience member falls asleep as hundreds of seats left empty. The conference had hundreds of empty seats as the audience seemed in a sleepy mood. As the crowd cheered for impeachment hearings, an awkward moment. What the f? Hasan, are we cooked? Yeah, I don't want to watch the rest of this. Let's get it. Thank you for the 50 bones, brother. Yeah, I can't do that. That's really bad, man. That's unbelievable. I can't watch that.
For you guys to think about is, who are the critics? Who are those people that are saying that you're the bad person or that what you're doing is not right? Well, a lot of times it's the media. A lot of the times it's that person who listens to the media where they've lost that idea of common sense thinking. And so nowadays, the most important thing I feel like for any of us to do is to think, okay, is the cause I'm fighting for, is it a controversial issue? Or is it actually non-controversial, but it's an issue that has become controversial from the critics? And we cannot ever pander to the critics, and we have to keep pursuing a worthy cause. Because what we're fighting for is worthy. America is the greatest country in the world.
Conservatives all get all on Pasevi. Thank you for the 100 gifted subs. What the hell is going on, man? What the heliante is late in the night? Is 9 p.m. here? Is 6 p.m. in Los Angeles? And we got big Oilers in the building, busting down the doors. New Oilers, new names no one's ever heard before. It's crazy. Why are we watching CPAC? I don't even know what that means. Conservatives get all bent, out of shape about an illegal alien drywaller landscaper freeloading off Americans. Meanwhile, a Nepo baby and his expat entourage can show up at CPAC and demand American kids go die halfway around the world to put him in power. Oh, Reza Pahlavi. Wow, that was I guess the entirety of CPAC was geared towards the sexual dynamo, Reza Pahlavi. Indiana Spud, thank you for 10 gifted.
This wide range of very, very eclectic interests: music, Broadway shows, pro wrestling, football, every sport, golf, and business and Wall Street. He knows how everybody made their money and what deals they made. And he tells stories all the time about it. It's just one after the other. And one time during the campaign, I was on the airplane with him, and we were sitting across the table from each other eating McDonald's, drinking Diet Coke. And we started talking about Syria, and he got a placemat, and he turned it on its back, and then he took a Sharpie and he drew a perfect map of the Mideast. And then he put the troop strength of every country on every border on that map, and it just it challenged a lot of the assumptions that I had been told about him. He has, he has this extraordinary depth of knowledge about what's happening in each one of the agencies, my agency and the others, and and then he has an instinct for making good choices.
Well, I have to say that,
and I would say this. I think my uncle, John Kennedy, understood the uses of power.
What the hell? Another 50 gifted subs by Emma Ann. Hasan, come to Hawaii, please. Gifted 20 gifted subs.
Better than any president who's preceded him. I think Donald Trump understands the use of power better than probably any president that we've had.
How does one get built in auto-tune? I think he got like Hep C in the throat from heroin or something. I don't know. I don't know exactly how he got that throat, but he is a throat goat.